Can you tell that I did not sleep well last night? Can you even, you can't even tell. Okay. I'm going to talk about why you need to give AJR a chance. These guys right here on my shirt, this is a lot like the Sleeping at Last video. I'm just going to talk about an album. I put on this sweatshirt because it's the only merch I have, but I am overheating, so real quick outfit change. We're talking about them. AJR is a band that I've listened to for a bit, at least. I think it was growing up. How I found music was my brother would listen to something and be like, okay, this is what we're listening to now. So a lot of our childhood bands are completely together, you know? So this was actually more of a high school era, 2019 to 2023 ish. So there's The Living Room, which is their OG type of stuff, you know. The Click came out in 2017. So that really makes sense for my personal timeline because Neo Theater came out in 2019, dude. That was 2019. So this is a Click hoodie then. OK Orchestra was 2021. But today, okay, love their old stuff. Honestly, they've gotten better as they've made music. But Maybe Man. And my brother was like, guys, there's Maybe Man tickets. And I said, I'll pay you back. So I did get to see this show live. It was their first show of theirs that I got to see live. And I may have been all the way up in the nosebleeds, but I saw them, okay? I don't even care. I saw them, and it was beautiful. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk about Maybe Man because genuinely their best album. Their new EP is great. I love it, but I want to talk about Maybe Man. The album starts off with the song Maybe Man. So then it just lays out the groundwork. This album is really like a book to me. It's really because it's such a beginning and an end, perfectly closing everything else. You get it. At least you will when I'm done talking. But I remember this playing in the car and my mom was listening. She was like, I hate this. And I'm like, it's just real. It's just honest. And sometimes honesty sucks. I understand what she meant by saying that she hated the song. And we'll get to that lyric. Touchy Feely Fool is next. Beautiful lyrics with a fun sound. So there's Yes, I'm a Mess. A dancey one. That one's not as, honestly, a no skip album, but it's lower on my list. And then we get into the Dumb Song, which is just fun. It's a fun song, but the lyrics, it's oh, you underestimate me, but that just means that I don't have to do anything. It's beautiful. Then we get to Inertia. Inertia was my favorite song on this album for a long time. Inertia, it kind of had its moment on TikTok for a little bit because it's, again, beautiful lyrics. I really love. There's Turning Out Part 3. I love Turning Out Part 1 and 2 so much. First time I listened to it, I didn't like it because I was like, it didn't feel like the same vibe of anything, whatever. After seeing it live, because they just did a medley they did the 3 in order, not the full songs, but just going through, and it finally hit me what Turning Out Part 3 really was, and it was just the acceptance and the joy, and it told me a lot about myself that I didn't like it when I first heard it. Hole in the Bottom of My Brain, this one's their sleeper. I feel for this album, I feel no one really knows about that one, but it's kind of beautiful. DJ is Crying for Help. I love the DJ is Crying for Help. I love the violins. I love the violin lady that they had on tour. I love her so much. The DJ is Crying for Help is just, I love that song. I Won't is another just kind of get the party people, get up and dance. Steve's Going to London. Ugh. Again, just fun sounds, whatever. But and just wacky lyrics. But I love the bridge. The bridge of Steve's Going to London. God is really real. I have a lot to say about this song, and we'll hold it. Just know, I have never listened to the song without crying, and I do not listen to it. 2085. A beautiful book ending to the album that really brings all of the themes and everything together, and I love it so much. And for about a month or two after the show, I could not listen to it without crying, and I'll get into that. And I feel I should also explain AJR is Adam, Jack, and Ryan, and they are 3 brothers who have been doing stuff together their whole lives, and then they were like making music, and they have a band. Okay, so we open with Maybe Man, which has beautiful lyrics. I will say a few. I wish I was a stone so I couldn't feel. You'd yell in my face, it'd be no big deal. But I'd miss the way we make up and smile. Don't want to be stone. I changed my mind. And it does a lot of stuff like that. And I'll get to the lyric where my mom said, I hate this song. I wish I had eyes in the back of my head. Then I could see the places I've been. But then I would know that you're talking shit. I don't want to know what my friends think. I wish I were my dog out on the lawn. I'd be so glad when I hear you come home. But if I were my dog, I wouldn't live long. I'm sure gonna miss her when she's gone. And that line specifically, my mom said, I hate this song. I understand that, but okay, in a really weird way, that is exactly how I think. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Oh, one line that I love. I wish that my brain would triple in size. I'd nail every joke, I'd win every fight, but I'd get too deep with that kind of mind. I don't want to know the point of life. I'd nail every joke, I'd win every fight is so important to me. But that's what the whole song is I wish this, but then this. You know, you want, but what's the point? And this, wish I was a song, your favorite one. You'd follow the dance to me at your prom. I would be there when your baby is born, but 2 or 3 minutes, then I'm gone. Ugh. And it's also just to think about the way that people are remembered. Like, musicians are remembered for their songs, but after so long, not all of their songs are played anymore. Maybe they just have their hits, and then they only exist for the 3 minutes that you're listening to them. I wish I was God, I'd never trip up. And if I did, well, so fucking what? I could be cruel and break all your stuff. Yeah, I'd be loved no matter what. But if I was God, it'd get kind of weird, because you would only say what I want to hear, and then you would die. You'd love me to death. I'd never know who the hell I am. Oh my God. Bring out the if I was God, I could do whatever I want and you'd still love me, because that's how people treat God right now. It just has a very beautiful moment of, I wish I was me, whoever that is. I could just be and not give a shit. Hey, I'll be whatever makes you a fan, because I don't know who the hell I am. There's all these things that he wishes he could be, right? Spotlight would go to a different spot on stage, and there'd be somebody in his clothing. And there were constellations on the screen that I wish I was my dog. There'd be a constellation of a dog, and it was all this stuff. And it was showing all the different people. And so eventually you're like, what? He can't be running from spotlight to spotlight. There was a bunch of people who were just dressed like him. And they were all over the stage. And the stage, it was so beautiful the way it happened. Touchy-feely fool. Oh, the pre-chorus. Someday won't this be funny? Well, I want it funny now. Man, I want to laugh so loud. Someday won't this be long ago? I want to feel that now. Sorry if I can't see how. I love this pre-chorus. I'm better off a stick. I'm better off a stone. I'm better off a jerk. I'm better off alone. I'm better not feeling stress or feeling bliss. I won't feel much, but at least I won't be feeling this. Bringing back, hey, the song that we just ended about, I wish I could be a stone. We're bringing that back, but then at the same time talking about how emotions, positive or negative, I don't want to feel any of them at all. Ooh, inertia. The chorus that kind of got a little bit of traction on TikTok for a little Short time. I'm an object in motion. I've lost all emotion. My 2 legs are broken, but look at me dance. An object in motion. Don't ask where I'm going, because where I'm going is right where I am. Whew. It's just, my 2 legs are broken, but look at me dance is just like the strive, especially for an artist, of like, my well is empty, but I'll keep going. Most of their things come back to the idea of growing up, and the fact that these guys grew up doing what they're already doing, it makes so much sense. Like, they grew up making music together as brothers, and like they're tap dancing in New York, like just on the street. And to still be doing that now, all these years later, it's like, yeah, where you have to wonder where you're going, but then you're exactly where you've always wanted to be. So do you have to go anywhere at all? Do you have to keep moving? I want to move out of this town, but everyone knows me and packing is tiring. I said I would start working out, but I'm fucking hungry and screw you, I'm trying. I want to be big like my plans, so why am I so tiny and why am I so mad? It's inertia. Guess this is just what I am. I'm stuck in this life and I'm stuck in these pants. Because what I didn't bring up was the first verse of I've worn the same skinny jeans since I was 15. So then at the end of the song, he's like, I'm stuck in these pants. He is forever stuck in what he started in. He said 15. Hey, I'm trying to move. I keep doing things, the movement, the whatever, but I'm stuck at 15, dude. But on the other hand, maybe that's okay. Maybe 15-year-old, you had it right. I said I would start working out, but I'm hungry and screw you, I'm trying. Oh my God. I'm hungry and I'm trying. Leave me alone. I love that. I want to move out of this town, but everyone knows me and packing is tiring. Just staying still is better than the trouble of packing and meeting new people. Oh my God. Do you get me? And then we come out to Turning Out Part 3. So Turning Out Part 1 and 2, I think it was like being in love, thinking you're in love, and then finding out that you're not and what to do with that. And now this one is actually realizing what love is and actually being it, and it's very beautiful. My God, what a crazy mind. It'll be fine. Quick, let's get married. Man, I wish I was 85. The rest of our life wouldn't sound so scary. Oh, I'm spiraling now. Let's get kids in a house. Though I'm riddled with doubts. Is this how we turn out? Oh, I just got chills. This is actually beautiful, and I can't believe I didn't give this the love it needed when I first listened to it. How my dog's always happy when you're home. We're bringing back the dog. Remember the dog from earlier? I swear, every song leads back to Maybe Man. Okay, all roads lead to Maybe Man. I wish we were 85. The rest of our life wouldn't sound so scary. Because that thinking, if you thought like that all the time, and this is something I've thought about since watching the Don't Look Up movie, when they're like, spoilers, when they're like, okay, so this thing's gonna kill us. Jennifer Lawrence's character, meeting Timothée Chalamet's character, and them being an actually like beautiful pair, that would have never happened if she didn't say, I'm gonna die anyway. Might as well hang out with this random, but because she was like, well, I'm gonna die anyway, who cares? They got to have some beautiful moments together before the end. And that is how we should all live all the time. I'm gonna die anyway. Give it a chance. Now, I mean, there's an asterisk there. There are some things that you shouldn't do. And that's for you to figure out for your life and where that safe line and safeguard is. But genuinely, we should be thinking that every single day. Because we're all going to die. Hey, spoiler alert. We're all going to die. What are you going to do with it? And I think that, like, I wish I was 85. The rest of our lives wouldn't sound so scary. Hey, imagine right now, you're 85. Okay? Every single day you wake up, you're 85. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? And that's like, I love that line of thinking, and I want to get farther into it and like think more like that. And I think about that every single time I hear that lyric. The rest of our lives wouldn't sound so scary if we were at the end of our lives. But we don't know when the end of our lives are. We don't know. You don't have to turn out. The relationships don't have to turn out. But whether you like life or not does. That's the important part. And again, I wish I had given the song the appreciation it deserved when I first listened to it. God. He's Going to London is just... It's just fun. Oh, I love the bridge so much. I try hard to write a cool song, so I start with something simple, like trying to put my shoes on. If something kind of clicks because you relate a bit, but no one's going to care about a shoe song. Great. I try hard to write a cool song, but I gotta make it matter, so maybe I'll throw the news on. Could I relate the shoes to 2022, or maybe an election down in Tucson? I tried throwing something cool on. So I'm listening to Kendrick and playing the swimming pool song. But why did I do that? Because now I hate my track. I'm quite aware I'll never write a cool song. But who really needs a cool song? There's so many better melodies. Why do you need a new one? So stop writing a song about writing a song. You're losing their attention. Oh, you're losing their attention, buddy. Move on. The song is done in such a fun way with the lyrics that when there's like the fourth wall break in the bridge, I love it. We've come to the segment where we're talking about God is really real. And I'm going to do this with so much grace. Another one of the bands that me and my brother listened to growing up was Imagine Dragons. There was a festival that my brother had heard of where it was Imagine Dragons and AJR was opening for them. This was before Maybe Man actually came out. I think their singles were out. Maybe Man. I forget exactly, but I just remember the next summer was when we got to actually see Maybe Man. So we had tickets to go see. It was so perfect. AJR opening for Imagine Dragons. Like, that's right up our alley, right? And AJR made a post. Their dad wasn't doing great because, again, it's 3 people. They're all brothers. Their dad wasn't in great shape. And eventually he did unfortunately pass from his condition. And they canceled their August shows. And that's when we were going to see them. So they were no longer opening for Imagine Dragons. But then they released this song called God is Really Real for their dad. Now, people throw around like things on the internet all the time. I've been told by a therapist I'm an empath. I feel emotions for other people so big. Every time I listen to this song, I also think about the fact that like the show that we would have seen them for the first time was canceled. So it was like, you know, like I feel kind of connected in that way where I was like, I was in one of the groups that like, I almost saw them. Instead, we got this song put out and like destroyed me. Let's get into these lyrics a little bit. My dad can't get out of bed. There's something in his lungs. I think that's what the doctor said. I gotta leave for Paris now. My band goes on at 10 and my dad can't get out of bed. I love that line, my dad can't get out of bed, comes back so often because that is such a beautiful rendition of grief. Even like in this, like this is before he's actually gone, you know, he's just sick. He's just not doing good. But there's still be going along about your day and it just can't get out of bed. Can't get out of bed. And it just comes and it gets you whenever. You have no control over that. The earth is spinning like it always did. The New York Times is publishing some real important thing. And each day when the world wakes up, our lawns will still be wet and my dad can't get out of bed. The way God is really real when you really, really need him. Karma just appears when you suddenly believe it. Hear it loud and clear just as long as it's convenient. Life's fucking long till it stops. And God's fucking fake till he's not. And hate to say it, all roads lead back to Maybe Man. I wish I was God. Now God's real. There's robots that are way too good at art and everybody's sad now. I'm trying to get to Mars. Don't want to hear your problems because there's just one in my head and he can't get out of bed. Oh, the change to he can't get out of bed is just like, because like talking about like AI and how that's ruining art, and then like literally space travel is tiny compared to the fact that my dad is stuck in bed. Ugh. And it's just a beautiful rendition of grief. What if we could break you out tonight? This kind of thing happens to other dads. It don't happen to mine. I'll distract the doctors. We could sneak out with your meds. You could come along and be a roadie for the band. Come on, Dad, get out of bed. Their dad was actually so involved in the band. And of course they post about that like while he's sick after he died. And it's just so beautiful. He genuinely was a roadie. He listened to all of their albums before they went out. Oh. And he would be so brutally honest of like, you need to change this. Like he would like, oh, he was so involved with the band. And I just have to think about how impossible that must feel to keep touring without him. I feel so bad for them, and this song destroys me. But I have to just listen to their new songs and think about the fact that's like they weren't able to check with him first like they used to. They weren't able to have him listen to it before it came out. And I think about that every time that it's a new song. It just, now it's late, I really gotta go. And we can't face our feelings, so we're making lots of jokes. Sorry. And we won't cry about it. No, we'll be manly men. I love you sounds all corny, so I wrote this song instead. I'll sing it for you, Dad, when you get out of bed. I sing it for you when you're out of bed. Despite the divorce, which is in other songs, Gary had always shown support for his sons. He popped up in interviews, toured with the band, contributed to some of the shows, and even received a reaction camera angle for their One More Spectacular Night live stream show. Some might say he is their biggest fan. Oh! The brothers simply wanted to spend some time with their dad, especially since it may have been all they had left with him. Later in the evening, following the song's candid release, the brothers shared that Gary had unfortunately passed away. Yeah, I did not get through that song. When they played it live, I did not get through. So, 2085. If someone told me I'd die at 40, I wouldn't spend my time in bed. Writing my dumb songs and my grown-up songs, I should have just grown up instead. That's kind of like what the whole beginning of this song kind of is, you know? Because sometimes I wonder if I had kissed her, how different life would be right now, and just different stuff like that. And chorus is, hey, it's 2085 and we're old as shit, whatever. Hey, I'd hate to have to die before I get my head together, whatever. And go tell your grandson to go tell his grandson, you don't have to try so hard, you know, because I spent my whole life trying to be so liked. That only made him hate me more. Yup. They did a little break and they like spoke into the microphone, whatever, and it was like, yes! At least that was me in the stands. You gotta get better, you're all that I've got. Don't take forever, you're not here for long. You gotta get better, you're all that I've got. And I can't help but think about their dad, and it makes me insane. That part would make me cry for, again, at least a month after the show. All roads lead back to Maybe Man. We bring that whole ending of Maybe Man, it completely comes back in 2085. I wish I was me, whoever that is. I could just be and not give a shit. Hey, I'll be whatever makes you a fan, because I don't know who the hell I am. Okay, you know exactly where we are now, because we've heard this before, right? But now it's a switch. I think it's too late to figure this out. If I could be me, I would have been it by now. If I could be me, I would have been it by now. Oh my god. When do you become yourself? Have you always been yourself? Who are you? These questions, I don't think they ever go away. And that's kind of the scariest part. Maybe I'm a stone or as big as my house. It looks like our time is running out. So if this is me, then I'll do my best. I'll take all the shit so you never have to. You can be you and I'll be the rest. Yeah, maybe that's who the hell I am. Back into, you gotta get better, you're all that I've got. And it switches, the switch, diabolical. I've got to get better. I'm all that I've got. The whole time. They repeat this so many times. You've got to get better. You're all that I've got. You've got to get better. You're all that I've got. And then the last time he says it, I've got to get better. I'm all that I've got. And that's so true. And I can't help but to think that's like, again, I have to think about their dad, where like, you've got to get better. You're all that I've got. But at the end of the day, you don't know when your mortal coil is going to be snapped. You don't know who's going before you. You don't know who's going after you. You cannot rely on one person solely. You don't know when they're gone. You are all that you truly have. When you go to sleep, it's you. When you wake up, it's you. When you go to work, it's you. When you are most creative, it's you. When you are most happy, it's you. When you are most sad, it is you. It's always you. You're the only person that you have 24 hours a day. You have to be there for yourself. You cannot rely on other people. I think that is so beautiful, and I think that is something that I had to learn so much growing up. I had such a hard time making friends. Such a hard time. And I had to learn to find that in myself. I had so much self-deprecation and self-hatred that I needed to learn would you say that to a friend? Then don't say it to yourself, you know? I've got to get better. I have to be better because I'm all that I've got. I need to be the best person. This is such an album that makes you think about growing up and how hard that is and coming of age, but at the same time, mortality. In some strange way, growing up is also, and like the same hand, you have to think about mortality. And it's kind of a comfort, because I think especially for people who aren't religious, so much more of a comfort of knowing that you have yourself. If you don't believe in a God to turn to yourself. You have yourself. And if you need to make yourself better, there's ways to do that. You know, it's just so beautiful. This song ends with, for 2 or 3 minutes, then I'm gone. All roads lead to Maybe Man. We bring back like, if I was your favorite song, for 2 or 3 minutes, then I'm gone. And now, album's done, show's over, they're gone. 2 or 3 minutes are up. And that's how life is. You have... In the grand scheme of the world, from the Big Bang to now, your life is this big. Whoa. What are you doing with those 2 or 3 minutes? How are you enjoying it? How are you making the world a better place? How are you making yourself a better person? You have 2 or 3 minutes, go. Hey, what? I couldn't listen to this song after the show without crying, because I was thinking of this one person I saw in the crowd. Kind of a big group of us, you know, we're trying to hold hands, link together, and we finally get our way to the walkway. We're going up. I can't. And I see this little kid. I don't know how old. Rough guesstimate would be like 13 or something. He wears this hat to every single show and a white t-shirt. And this kid was completely dressed up. He looked just like Jack. He had the hat, he had the white t-shirt. His family around him, I think there was like a younger sister and his parents. I saw like his mom getting the bag, his little sister doing whatever, and like dad, like the whole family was moving, getting ready to leave. And this kid is standing completely still, staring straight at the stage. Tears are still streaming down his cheeks, and he is just staring. He's not moving. Genuinely, I thought about that kid and the look on his face every single time I listened to this song afterwards. At the time that I saw this, I think I was 19 and I saw the show. And again, I was what I assumed to be like 13 or something, younger than me, of course. And all of the topics that I just talked about, and like the coming of age and the growing up and how it sucks, and even just mortality, and just like how I think about this album and seeing him and seeing that reaction. I hope by the time that kid is my age, he doesn't wonder who he is anymore. I hope, because I don't want to keep wondering. I don't want to relate to this music as much as I do, you know? I want to know who I am. It hit me so hard. The look on his face, I can't even describe it. And if I could draw people better, I would. I would draw his face. It was just he was looking at that stage. He did not want it to be over. He did not want that to be over, and I completely understand. I was crying too. Looking in the crowd, there were people so much older than me. There were people so much younger than me. And somehow we all find this, like, we all find something from this music because we all don't know who we are. Because there's not an age for that. I hope he knows who the hell he is. You know? That's all I could ever hope. And I hope by the time that he's my age, he doesn't have to question that anymore. And he just knows. Basically, that is AJR's best album. But that's all I have to say today. I love this album, and I've said I wanted to make this video. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe, because that's cool. And yeah, listen to AJR, specifically Maybe Man. And listen to the new EP that came out. It's very beautiful. And I do like that one too. So